Hare Krishna, that's a beautiful kirtan to start the show. Really puts you in a lovely mood, and watching those lovely pictures, it does bring a nice spiritual mood in you. Thank you for that, Sudashan. So we have a lovely program for you today, but sadly today is marked as, on a calendar, it's shown as the disappearance anniversary of Jaide Goswami, who's one of the acharyas in our movement. And every day we sing, the Nrsimha prayers every day, and within that is one part of the Dashavtar glorification by Jayadev, and that's the part concerned with Nrsimhadev. But he has covered all the Dashavatars in there. So today is the disappearance of Jayadev. And sadly, we also learned this morning that one of our godbrothers, Janakaraj Prabhu, he also passed away early in the morning. So we'll be remembering him later on. Along with his disappearances, we have a couple of birthday celebrations also. Today is Aradhya's birthday. So we'll be, celebrating that later on. And also on Friday was Sudarshan's birthday. So we have a bit of a student's hour today, so never mind. Today's class will be by Haridas Prabhu, and the bhajans, let me just check, there'll be bhajans by Sachidanand Prabhu in the temple, and Janki Devi from home. And then the main aarti. And the main aarti will be sung by the Pranava Prabhu's family in Musali Hall, and Anirudh here in Coventry will be singing the nursing aarti at the end. Okay, so let's kick the show off. We'll go over to the temple and glorify Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki Jai.
Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Bandhamaya Savadana Mate Bandhamaya Savadana Bandhamaya Savadana Mate Bandhamaya Savadana Mate Jahara Prasadeva तो दिया जाए।
हरा प्रसाद देवतो
कृष्ण प्राप्ति होइते
कृष्ण प्राप्ति होइते
कृष्ण प्राप्ति होइते
कृष्ण प्राप्ति होइते
गुरुमुखा पद्मावाख्या चित्ते कोरियाख्या
गुरुमुखा पद्मावाख्या चित्ते कोरियाख्या
आयरन को दिह माने आशा श्री गुरु चरणे गति ऐसे उत्तम गति
श्री गुरु चरणे गति ऐसे उत्तम गति
ये प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा
हे प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा
चक्षुदान दिल जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
चक्षुदान दिलाए जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
चक्षुदान दिल जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
चक्षुदान दिलाए जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित
दिव्य ज्ञान से प्रकाशित
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित
दिव्य ज्ञान से प्रकाशित
ओ प्रेमा भक्ति यहाँ होते अभिज विनाशयते प्रेम भक्ति यहाँ होते अभिज विनाशयते वेद ज्ञान यहाँ रचरित गुरु करुणा सिंधु आगम जनारा बंधु
गुरु करुणा सिंधु आगम जनारा बंधु
श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आगम जनारा बंधु
गुरु करुणा सिंधु आगम जनारा बंधु
लोकेना लोकेरा जीवाना
लोकेना लोकेरा जीवाना
लोकेरा लोकेरा जीवाना
लोकेना लोकेरा जीवाना
महाप्रभु कर दया दे हमारे पाद छाया
प्रभु करो दया हमारे पाद छाया
महाप्रभु कर दया दे हमारे पाद छाया
प्रभु करो दया हमारे पाद छाया
बेगा श्रुति भुवाना पाद लीला शराना श्रीरा प्रभु पति तपवाना जय प्रभुपद 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 जय प्रभुपद जय
प्रभुपद जय
जय जय प्रभुपद प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव
गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव
निताय गौरा हरिबा 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 गौरा हरिबा
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Gora Premananda Hari Bol Jai Om Vishnupad Paramamsa Parivrajak Acharya Stotra Sat Shri Srimadi's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Iskcon Bibiri Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Iskcon Guru ki jai. Gora Premananda Hari Bol. So Prabhupada is honored with the title Founder Acharya, Sanstapika Acharya of Iskcon. So let us hear, let us be inspired by some words of wisdom by listening to Srila Prabhupada directly. We will play today's video.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam. One who surrenders to Krishna or God is very fortunate. Bhunam Janmanavanti Jnanavan Mang Prabhutat. One who surrenders, he is not ordinary man. He is greater than all scholars, all philosophers, all yogis, all karmis, topmost man. One who surrenders. Therefore he is very confident. So our teaching, Krishna consciousness movement, to present Bhagavad Gita as it is a process of teaching people how to surrender to Krishna or God. That's all. Therefore Krishna says, this is a confidential, nobody will accept, but one who takes the risk, please surrender. So when you go to preach, you know the preachers are sometimes attacked, just like Nityananda Prabhu was attacked by Jagai Madhai. Lord Jesus Christ was crucified, killed. So, a preacher has the risk. Therefore Krishna says, these field workers who are engaged in preaching this Bhagavad Gita as it is, they are very, very dear to me. Very, very dear to me. Nachatasmat manusyeshu kaschit me priyate. There is nobody dearer to me than that person who preaches this confidential truth to the people. Therefore, if we want to please Krishna, we have to take this risk. Krishna Guru, my spiritual master, took this risk, preaching work, and he inspired us also to do that preaching work. And we are also imploring you to take this preaching work. So this preaching work, however, poorly we do. Poorly, it is not poor. But suppose I am not very much educated. Just like this boy. If I send him for preaching work, he is not very educated now, he is not a philosopher, he is not a scholar, but he can also preach. He can also preach. Because our preaching is not very difficult thing. If we go from door to door and simply request people, my dear sir, he chant Hare Krishna, and if he is little advanced, please try to read teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It is very nice, he will be beneficial. So these 3-4 words will make you a preacher. Is it very difficult task? He may not be very learned, very good scholar, very good philosopher. You simply say, go and door to door. My dear sir, you are very learned man. For the time being, stop your learning. Simply chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Right, what a wonderful message. Take the risk for Krishna, to preach Krishna's message. And I was just thinking, those are beautiful pictures which were being shown while that that audio was being played. And the person who took the greatest risk was Srila Prabhupada himself. At his advanced age, when everybody was telling him, you're too old to do this, don't start this now, don't travel by ship to America, it will be very dangerous. Your health is very fragile, don't go. But he went. Spent 2 months on the ship with stormy waters. Then Krishna was with him. Krishna was with Prabhupada and very pleased with him. So he gave him darshan on the ship when Prabhupada had some mild heart attacks. And then the seas calmed down. He landed in America, struggled for a year. And then all over the world, Iskcon centers, devotees sprang up. And those pictures, if you notice, I was noticing, they were from different countries. So that's Prabhupada's success, that his risk for spreading Krishna consciousness. You saw devotees being made all over the world. Wonderful. And we thank Prabhupada very much. We, at this time, in this country, we are also benefiting from Srila Prabhupada's original risk. So Hare Krishna. We'll start our bhajan kirtans now, and we'll go straight to the temple, and our pujari, Sachinandan, will sing the first bhajan.
Shall I start, Prabhuji?
Hare.
Jayo Jayo Jagannath Sachirananda Tribhuvan Kare Jai Charanabandha Jaya Jaya Jagannatha Sachiranandana Tribhuvan Kare Jai Saranandana Nilachale Shankha Chakra Gada Padmadhara Nilachale Shankha Chakra Gada Padmadhara Nadyanagare Danda Kamandaloka Nadyanagare Danda Kamandaloka Jaya Jaya Jagannath Sachirananda Tribhuvan Kare Jai Charanabandha Keho bale purabete Ravana gadhila Keho bale purabete Ravana gadhila Golokera Vaibhav Leela Prakasho Karila Golokera শিরাধার ভাবে গোরায় অবতার শিরাধার ভাবে গোরায় অবতার হরে কৃষ্ণ নাম গৌর হরিলা প্রচার হরে কৃষ্ণ নাম গৌর হরিলা প্রচার বাসুদেব ঘোষ বলে করি জয় হাত বাসুদেব ঘোষ বলে করি জয় হাত সেই গৌর সেই কৃষ্ণ সেই জগন্নাথ জয় গৌর সেই কৃষ্ণ সেই জগন্নাথ জয় জয় জগন্নাথ সচিরানন্দ ত্রিভুবন করে যায় চরণবন্দন জয় জয় জগন্নাথ সচিরানন্দ ত্রিভুবন করে যায় চরণবন্দন Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath, Jagannath, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Sachinandana Nitaisa, Sachinandana Nitaisa, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Nitayo Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Guru Hari Bol. Jai Ho, Jai.
Thank you. Sachidanand.
Jai Hare Krishna, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj.
Jai. Haribol. Okay, thank you, Sachidanand Prabhu. Lovely. Thank you also for your seva, because now with this Omicron, those few devotees who are coming to give a little seva, even they have stopped. So you're soldiering on mostly by yourself. So thank you for your seva and for your wonderful kirtan. Haribo. We'll go to our second singer now. It's Janki Devi in Coventry. So if you can, she can be brought on, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Janki Devi.
Bhaj Gauranga, Bhaj Gauranga, Bhaj Gaurangero naam re. Bhaj Gauranga, Bhaj Gauranga, Bhaj Gaurangero naam re. He Gauranga nadiya ware, Gauranga nadiya ware, braj ke radhe shyam re, braj ke radhe shyam re. ये है अवध के सीता राम रे, अवध सीता राम रे. भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगे, भज गौरंगेरो नाम रे. भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगेरो नाम रे. भज गौरंगेरो नाम रे. भीतर श्याम गौर बाहर से, भीतर श्याम गौर बाहर से, जुगल रूप अभिराम रे, जुगल रूप अभिराम रे. श्यामा श्याम रूप होकर भी, श्यामा श्याम रूप होकर भी, तीरथ श्यामा श्याम रे. भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगेरो नाम रे. भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगेरो नाम रे. जगाई मलाई समपति तन, जगाई मलाई समपति तन को, दीनो अपना धाम रे, दीनो अपना धाम रे. कलिमल ग्रसित पतित सरताज, कलिमल ग्रसित पतित सरताज, दिए प्रेम निष्काम रे, दिए प्रेम निष्काम रे. भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगेरो नाम रे. भज गौरंगो, भज गौरंगो,
Gauranga. Very, very beautifully sung there, and you put us in a mood for the coming celebrations. First is Advaita Acharya's appearance day on the 7th February, then is Lord Nityananda Prabhu's appearance on the 14th of February, and then the big one, Gaurapunim in March. And singing that song all about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was fantastic. Thank you very much, Janki, and thank you also to in the background. We can hear Dhruv and Keshav Prabhu. Wonderful. Hare Krishna. All right. Excellent. Thank you. Can we now bring in Aradhya is all mic'd up. There is all mic'd up. It's his birthday. All right. Are we okay now? Okay. Yeah. Saradhya, very many happy returns to you.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhuji.
I think we need to bring down your reverb down a bit. Prem Prakash Prabhu. Something is muting. Haribol, that's better. Yes. So we will be celebrating your birthday later on with everybody. But right now it's your turn to sing. You're going to sing Jai Radha Madhav. So are you ready?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Excellent.
Hare Krishna, Pranam.
Haribol, thank you. Aradhya, it's a very nicely sung. And once again, very many happy returns. Have you had a nice birthday so far?
Yes, Guruji.
Good, thank you. So later on, we'll be all wishing you a happy birthday afterwards. So I'd like to bring in Haridas now. He'll be giving today's class. I'm not sure what the topic is today, Haridas.
It's 7th chapter, 3rd verse. Manusyanam Sahasreshu. I mean,
one of my favorites.
well, they are. Maybe that's why I chose it. Yes, it's a world of people are searching on the Google and seeking this and seeking that and trying to be perfect. So I was thinking it'll be a good class to bring up and see what we come up with. Yeah. By the way, if my internet plays up, I do apologize, because earlier on it was kind of sticking a bit. So if it drops, then I'll have to rehook up again. Yeah, is that okay with the bro?
Yes, yes.
Okay, right. I'll start then. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today's verse is from 7th chapter, 3rd verse. And it's a wonderful verse. Yes, thank you, Sudarshan Prabhu. Manusyanam sahasreshu kishchid yatati siddhaya yatadamapi siddhanam krishnma veti tatvataha. So it's a beautiful one. The first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, they are pointing towards that we are, Krishna directly telling that we are a spirit soul. And the 7th chapter starts and immediately Krishna says, hardly anybody can understand me. So first 6 chapter was about us. Now it starts about Krishna and he's declaring hardly anybody can understand. So let's see what Srila Prabhupada says in his purports. It's always wonderful because Srila Prabhupada has this magic that whatever you can't comprehend, in the verse, the purports really explain it nicely. So it's wonderful. Okay, so I will speak the verse again. Manusyanam sahasreshu kischid yatati siddhyaye yatatamapi siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvatha. Manusyanam, of men, sahasreshu, out of many thousands, kaschid, someone, yatati, endeavors, siddhyaye, for perfection, yatatam, of those so endeavoring, api, indeed, siddhanam, of those who have achieved perfection, kaschid, someone, mam, may, veti, does know, tatvataha, in fact. So out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai, so purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are various grades of men, and out of many thousands, one may be sufficiently interested in transcendental realization to try to know what is the self, what is the body, and what is the absolute truth. Generally, mankind is simply engaged in the animal propensities, namely eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. And hardly anyone is interested in transcendental knowledge. The first 6 chapters of Gita are meant for those who are interested in transcendental knowledge, in understanding the self, the super self, and the process of realization by Gyan Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, and discrimination of the self from the matter. However, Krishna can be known only by persons who are in Krishna consciousness. Other transcendentalists may achieve impersonal Brahman realization, for this is easier than understanding Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Person, but at the same time, he is beyond the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. The yogis and the jnanis are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna. Although the greatest of the impersonalists, Sripad Shankaracharya, has admitted in his Gita commentary that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his followers do not accept Krishna as such, for it is very difficult to know Krishna, even though one has transcendental realization of impersonal Brahman. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the primeval Lord Govinda. In Brahma Samhita it says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarna Karanam. It is very difficult for the non-devotees to know him. Although non-devotees declare that the path of bhakti or devotional service is very easy, they cannot practice it. If the path of bhakti is so easy as the non-devotee class of men proclaim, then why do they take up the difficult path? Actually, the path of bhakti is not easy. The so-called path of bhakti practiced by unauthorized persons without knowledge of bhakti may be easy, but when it is practiced factually according to the rules and regulations, the speculative scholars and philosophers fall away from the path. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in his Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 1.2.101, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpataeva Kalpate. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upanishads, Puranas, and Narad Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. It is not possible for the Brahman realized impersonalist or the Paramatma realized yogi to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda or the charioteer of Arjuna. Even the great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. Muhyanti yat surya, mam tu veda na kaschan. No one knows me as I am, the Lord says. And if one does know him, then sa mahatma sudurlabha. Such a great soul is very rare. Therefore, unless one practices devotional service to the Lord, one cannot know Krishna as he is, tatvataha. Even though one is a great scholar or philosopher, only the pure devotees can know something of the inconceivable transcendental qualities in Krishna. His being the cause of all causes, his omnipotence and opulence, and his wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, because Krishna is benevolently inclined to his devotees. He is the last word in Brahman realization, and the devotees alone can realize him as he is. Therefore, it is said, Ataha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahayam indriyahe sevan mukhe hi jivadhao swayam eva sfurti adaha. No one can understand Krishna as he is by blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. That's from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 1.2.2 to 3.4. So we'll do the invocation, Mangalacharan, and then we'll start the class. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the verse is Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kischid Yatati Siddhyaye Yatatam Siddhanam Christian Ma Veti Tadbataha. So Srila Prabhupada has explained who actually qualifies to understand Krishna. Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenam Mamupyantite. The one who does loving devotional service actually qualifies to love Krishna. I mean, the question is, why does anybody go for perfection? We all try to be perfect in whatever field we are. And I found a lovely statement by someone. He goes, we love authenticity and we know that life is messy and imperfect. We get sucked into perfection for one very simple reason. We believe perfection will protect us. Perfectionism is the belief that if we live perfect, look perfect, and act perfect, we can minimize or avoid the pain of blame, judgment, and shame. So that's somebody else's, explanation of why people go for perfection. But if we look in the history of our Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he actually came to realize mood of Radharani. I mean, we might think, okay, Krishna, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He would know what Radharani is experiencing or what she feels like. But he came to Navadvip and then in Jagannath Puri, and he wanted to experience her rasa of his own qualities. He wanted to see what it is like to experience Krishna's qualities. And here he's declaring that you can go for perfection, but you hardly know me. And people are not even trying for perfection. Those are just sleeping, mating, eating, defending, things like that, have animal propensities. They are not Brahma Jigyasu. They're not interested in Athato Brahma Jigyasa. So what are they doing? They're suffering repeatedly. But while they're suffering repeatedly, they are looking for solution for the miseries they are suffering. And so loads of scientists are there, they get paid and do their research work. They look into how to perfect the human life on Earth. And in the meantime, we are polluting the planet, the oceans, the land, the air, everything for humans, as if it's only the humans who are important. And the COVID now showed it, that Mother Nature is flourishing quite nicely, thank you, because it stopped the men from behaving badly for their own selfish interest. So everybody's trying for perfection, to be comfortable, to be employed, to have sense gratification. They're trying for those perfections. And they are not Athato Brahma Jigyasis. They're just interested in the material comforts and things. And then when old age comes, they get depressed, and then death comes, and they don't have no clue what happens. So they'll perpetually keep coming back and suffer again while this planet is being ruined by this so-called scientists who are being progressive according to their minds, but they're actually ruining everything. Mother Nature on her can, give a lot. I mean, we read about King Prithu's life, how Mother Earth stopped to yield grains and, mines and, minerals. And King Prithu got angry with Mother Earth and was going to kill her. He's saying, I'm going to punish you for it. And she complained there are loads of sinful people on her, on the planet. And it's the same situation now. We really, taking the resources from the earth, digging up coal, gold, diamonds, and everything just to exploit, just for our pleasure. That's all, not for utility purpose. And whatever yield we get, they hoard it, so the prices go up, stocks, market and all that, so the prices go up, so they make money. They're not interested in feeding people. So all the intention is wrong, and you can understand why nature is hitting back. Look at the atom bomb. They did research to perfect the nuclear energy. What can it do? And when they did the testing, they thought, okay, we could kill a few people, and they used it. And to this day, I mean, Japan has forgiven them, but it's a black mark against the USA for using such a weapon. The scientists, they made the rockets and everything to go to the moon. So they did some missions and a couple of accidents, and they stopped the program. We're looking for perfection. But Krishna says there that even those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. But these scientists are not going to get perfect. They're going the other way. They're just going into Maya. Devi hi esha gunamai mam maya drutya. Mam eva yo prapadante mayam etan tarantite. We are not trying to reach Krishna. These scientists are not trying to reach Krishna. And here Prabhupada puts in the purport that even the yogis and the jnanis, they're not going to understand Krishna. Vadanti tat tatva vedas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwan iti shabdyate. To reach the Bhagwan, level, to understand him is much higher. But you can only get that through devotional service. The Jnanis will become Brahmanandis. And the ones who are localized Paramatma, they focus in, they become yogi. And even Krishna, there goes yogi nam api sarvesham madgaten antaratma. That the one who focuses on me in the heart, he's the best. But here Prabhupada is saying even they will not know Krishna. So when we go to Bharat, we see loads of people in saffron clothes, and they are transcendentalists. So we pay our respects. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they know Krishna. When Krishna was on the planet, I mean, nobody can be more clever than Lord Brahma. And we're in the Brahma Madhav Gauriya Sampradaya, so he's our head. Even he didn't understand Krishna. He just saw a small boy with some rice in his hand with yogurt on it, and made his cows and, cowherd boys disappear, or calves disappear, just to test him. And then when he came back after a moment, according to him, it was a moment, it was 1 year really, he saw this cowherd boys are still there. So he checked where he hid them, and he goes, they're still there. Who are these? And then suddenly they all turn into Vishnus. That scene must have been amazing. And Lord Brahma, he had met Lord Vishnu, just one of them, and sometimes just on the causal ocean, he hears the sound instruction. But with his own eyes, he saw many, many Vishnus. And he said to Krishna, others can say they know you, but I don't know you. And that is Lord Brahma with 4 heads, 4 brains. And Indra, his worship was stopped. All the Brajvasis stopped his worship on say-so of Krishna. And he got annoyed and he came, I'll teach this boy. And he was as bad as the demons. He didn't come to kill Krishna only, he wanted to kill the Brajabasis and the cows as well. That's a bad move. So he made all this rain and everything, and the Lord became Giridhari. He picked up the Govardhan and he showed his strength. And Lord Indra came and apologized. Putana, she saw Krishna. She thought she understood, that's a baby. I can kill this baby with the poison. What happened? She went towards Krishna. Krishna went towards her. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. But she couldn't handle him, baby Krishna. And she died immediately. And this is the first Leela Krishna did. So you can see there are different people attempting to know Krishna, but the intention is not right. Or they are not at that level. I was talking to Vidar earlier on, saying so many people are searching. Well, he says you should be Brahma Jigyasa, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Now is the time to inquire about Brahman. Brahman means spirituality, who you really are, what are we identifying with? The first 6 chapters, we don't, when we read it, it's that we are the soul, but although we read it, but we don't know what the soul looks like, and we still believe we are the body. We get up in the morning, even though you're initiated and you're doing your japa and everything, but the whole program of the day is about the body and what you're going to eat and what you're going to do. And you have a list of transcendental devotional things you're going to do as well. So the devotees are good like that. So it depends how much devotional service you're doing, how much of the body care you're doing. And if you don't even understand yourself, how can you understand Krishna? We don't understand ourselves. We are grihasthas, so we are married, and we've been married for a long time. You love your spouse, but do you really fully understand them? Many times, you tell others, I don't understand my wife. And some, they quarrel so much. Every day it's a quarrel. And these days, it's a common thing, people getting divorced. They don't understand each other. They don't care for each other. They're so selfish. It's quite destructive. The whole social structure, because of this sense gratification and selfishness, is breaking up. And these days with this gender equality and everything like that, which is okay, but what is it doing to conservative truth about the social bonding, the stability of society? Chaturvarnam maya srishtam gun karma vibhagacha. Krishna has said that the society is divided into 4 because we are influenced by the gunas. Devi shagunamai mammaya duratya. So the gunas are driving you. You might think it's your decision, but if you're in Satagun, then you do Satagun activities. If you're in Rajagun, you'll be very passionate, distracting, doing this, want this, not happy with that. And Tamagun, completely lazy, drugs, laziness, madness. And you think that is your personality. No, that's not your personality. You're a spirit soul, but because of Maya, the illusory Maya, you've forgotten your identity. And that's why Thato Brahma Jigyasa. So just to know yourself is so difficult. How much more difficult is to know Krishna? Even Lord Brahma said, I can't say I know you. And yet, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was around, there are those, his parshads, who came and immediately they knew they were dealing with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they were telling him, and he was putting hands on his ears saying, no, I'm not the Supreme Personality of God. He wanted to experience this devoteeness. how does my devotee enjoy the bhakti? And, and Nityanand Prabhu came, and Raghunath Das Babaji Maharaj, he rebuked him saying, you went straight to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without going through me. That's why you haven't been successful. So in order to reach the Supreme Lord, you have to go through Tadvidi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Dekshanti Jnaninas Tattva Darshana. The person who's taken the darshan of the truth, Satyam Param Dhimahi. The one is always thinking of the absolute truth, who is Krishna himself. The absolute truth is Krishna. That is the point. Otherwise, the jnanis and the yogis will not understand that, or even if they read it, they will say the shloka, but will not accept it. They think, well, actually, this means this. They won't accept, what's written very, very clearly. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Anand Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karna Karanam. And wherever Mam, he says, it says a question, Mam Veti Tattva means me. So Prabhupada again and again says, when somebody says me, it's a personality. It's not impersonal. Me is a personality. He has a form. And because the jnanis and the yogis and atheists, it's beyond them. They can't understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be Yashoda Nandana. How can he be born? He's Aja. And look at Yashodama. She was so much in love with the baby. Krishna actually opened his mouth and revealed he's got universes in his mouth. She just fainted. And then Krishna realized, oh my God, I'm not going to get her cute love anymore because she'll be Brahm realized. So immediately made her forget that she saw the drishya, that sight. So Yashodama didn't want to know. Even if somebody said that he's the Supreme Lord, she said, no, that's my baby. That love, she didn't want to know. I mean, why do we want to understand Krishna? Why do we want to know everything? If there's a very rich man in your city, and you could go to him saying, oh, I've read all about you. It's on the Google, and when you were born, where were you born and what you done, what education you done. And the rich man would be a little suspicious, like, why are you doing that? So then later on saying, well, I was thinking of doing business with you and whatever like that. So he realizes he's only praising me, but he wants something from me. And in this chapter, Krishna says that those who desire other things, I send them to demigods. So you can see Krishna is the richest of rich people. And if you approach him with some business, he's clever. We think if you put, 5p or 1 pound in the donation box, then ask for millions from the Lord, is he a bad businessman? Prabhupada says, is he a bad businessman? No, he's not. He knows what you're doing. And he says in here that when you actually desire something other than him, he actually sends you to that particular demigod. And then, before you know it, because you're devoted to your ambition and your desire, then you get devoted to the demigods. And Krishna says here, 7:13, very nicely. Deluded by 3 modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. So deluded by 3 modes. The whole world does not know me. So that's all the people in the world. And the Lord is called Gunatit, Guna-atit. He's above these modes. We are under the 3 modes. He's above it. And actually then he declares it in the 14. This divine energy of mind consisting of the 3 modes of material nature is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So Krishna says that you're all under the modes and I'm above it. And then he goes, if you want to cross this, Bhav Saga, surrender unto me. And Raghupati Prabhu, he gave a class a while back. I was really impressed, and we always are. He's very good. And there he quoted that those who don't approach Krishna, there's 4 of them, Naradama, Mudha, Mayaprithagyana, Asura, all those types, they don't approach it. And there are 4 types who do, but they're not pure devotees because they want something from the Lord there. And later on, Krishna goes, Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyante vasudevam sarvamiti sa mahatma sadurlabha. Bahunam janmanamante. So even if you realize or start a relationship with Krishna, we still will be born again and again. And we shouldn't worry about it because now you're on the right path because Krishna protects you. One of the Shanagati, element is that you should realize Krishna maintains all and he protects. So he will protect. So does it really matter? I mean, we sleep every night, then we get up, sleep every night, we get up. So there's consecutive day, night, day, night, day, night. But we enjoy getting up, doing our thing like that. So in one sense, death is a bit like that. It's a little elongated. You die and then you get another body. And even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, birth after birth, I want to be your devotee. So we shouldn't worry about it. But here he says, Bahunam janamanamante jnanavan mam prapadan. Those who have the knowledge that Vasudeva is everything, like that. And later on he says here, I am in everyone's heart as a super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. So Krishna is doing that. So when you approach Krishna, even when you're initiated, even if you've been doing devotional service, but if you have some desire, you'll be amazed how Krishna will say, okay, don't bother me about that. Go to some demigod and all that. And it's an experience. You go out and do that and then you realize, nah, I didn't enjoy it very much. And then you come back to Krishna. It's like, the father lets the child touch the fire a little bit. So then in future, he won't touch again. So Krishna is guiding all that. And this is the verse I was looking for. It's really nice. He goes, unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before coming as Krishna, and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. So look, Krishna has covered those who go to demigods in this chapter, knowledge of the Absolute, and those who are impersonalists. They cannot know Krishna. And those Asruk mentality, Naradama, Mudhas, all this, he's categorized those and the impersonalists and the others, who want things and whatever. They cannot know Krishna. And then Krishna towards the end goes very nicely, intelligent person who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death, take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. So if you want to escape this repeated cycle of birth and death, and you're getting whipped every time, turn to Krishna. And Bahunam Janmanamante, it would take many, many lives. But Srila Prabhupada came and said to the American disciples, that this very lifetime, I made you realize that Krishna is everything. And once you know Krishna is everything, then you start to do your bhakti very sincerely, very simply, without the sophistication, complications of what's in the Vedas as Karam Kand and things like that. Vedescha sarver ahameva Vedya. Krishna even says, I'm to be known behind Veda. He's the Racheta. He wrote the Vedas. And even the Vedas says that although we write, but you're transcendental, you're above words, material words. The only bit which describes you is actually your name. So when you say Krishna, Ram, that is transcendental. But in trying to describe him, we're using material words. So the Lord is giving clue, how can you know him? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Hare Ranam, Hare Ranam, Hare Ranam eva kevalam, Kalau nasteva, 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 gati ranyata. So what is your gati? What is your destination? If you want to escape this repeated, the cycle of birth and death, then turn to Krishna. But how would you do it? Hare Ranam, Hare Ranam, Hare Ranam eva kevalam. You can try other methods. And just like you can try other methods to understand Krishna, you'll fail. You can, if you want to escape this, you have to do what's recommended. Sankirtan Yagya, chanting of the holy name. And we shouldn't think it's the first step, it's the easy step. And we were reading Harinam Chintamani, and yesterday was amazing. That you shouldn't think the glories of the chanting and his imagination. And in there, they actually valued the chanting of the holy name as the topmost. It's even topmost love, the chanting of the holy name. When you love someone, you call them by the name. Ruhini Mata used to go out and call Krishna Balaram, saying, come and eat, and they wouldn't take notice. And then she would send Yashodama, and then Yashodama would go out and say, Krishna Balaram, ajao. Immediately they would stop and come, because they knew Yashoda Mata loved them very much. So did Rohini Mata, but Yashoda Mata's love was special. So they would come. So calling, and this is avahan, means you're calling the Lordship. So when you chant the Mahamantra, the more sincere you become here, Cheto Darpan Marjanam, Baba Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. Mahadavagni is this fire of suffering in this material world. And Prabhupada said, we are really miserable here, but because we are intoxicated with comforts and all that, we think it's okay. The scientists will, create this, that, and the other, and we'll have perfect this and perfect that. It's not going to happen. Krishna said in the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it's dukhalyam, ashashvatam, it's temporary. And it might look like it's gone on for millions of years, it's okay. But look at the suffering. The suffering is stable. If anything is stable here, it's the suffering, not the happiness. People work so hard for a little bit of happiness. So Krishna is saying you don't understand him, but we don't want to understand Krishna. We want to love Krishna. So how can you love someone? By calling their name. And they will reveal them. It's called revelation. Theology means it's revealed to you. It's not logically you discover what the Lord is. The Lord reveals. And look at this incredible book, Bhagavad Gita. Who is speaking it? Sri Bhagavan Vaj. So you can stop searching for other scientists. They can't know Krishna. Krishna is telling you what it is. And in the 7th chapter, 7 verse, straight away he goes, Mataha Paratram Nanyat Kinchid Asti Dhananjaya. Oh, Dhananjaya, there's no truth higher than me. So what more do you want? This is Shabda Praman. The Lord is saying who he is. But it's difficult to understand me. So just accept it. And devotees do. So that's why they do kirtans. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are singing all that to have or start a relationship with Krishna, or to improve on the existing relationship with Krishna. And you will find this chanting will make you understand. Krishna said, I will give you that understanding. Buddhi yogam. Yoga means to, have a relationship, and we'll give the buddhi. We are using this material buddhi. But when you get transcendental buddhi, then you'll know who you are, who Paramatma is, and who Krishna is. We must do this every day, this bhakti. Just by doing the bhakti, you just do your bhakti, and Krishna will do his bit. He'll give you the mercy. And we must believe in his mercy. We must believe in what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. We must believe what it says in Bhagavatam about Krishna. And we must believe in Chaitanya Charitamrita, but Krishna Das Kaviraj so beautifully, put Leelas and Siddhanta of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And when you read it, you will say, well, I don't think I know Krishna, but I love him. I love Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I love Nityananda. I love Srila Prabhupada. I love Krishnadas Kaviraj. Can you see Krishna is in all these saintly persons and incarnations, and you love them. And just by saying you love them, your chanting improves. You start to feel secure because you go above this body. When you're in the ocean, if somebody puts you on a boat, you're in the boat. You still feel the bumps, but you're secure because you're in the boat now. Lifeboat. This is our life, and the boat is devotional service. So when we're in it, we chant his name. We don't have to read anymore. We understand he is Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitanand Vigraha. So by relating to him, when the sun shines, you go outside, immediately you feel the heat. Especially in winter when it comes out, it's warm there. You just love it. Premanji and I, we just stand for a few moments in the street together. It's different behind the glass window, but when you're outside, you really enjoy it. I don't understand the sun, how big it is and how hot it is, but I'm loving it. I'm loving that relationship. So similarly with Krishna, when we talk about his Bal Leela, and then we understand that he became Arjun's charioteer. He is our charioteer as well. Wherever we said, I want to go there, the Lord takes you. Yantra Arudani Maya. This is Yantra. This is Aratha. In there's two. There's us and the Supreme Lord. So he's making us go everywhere. So absolutely fantastic. We can try to understand Krishna, but the easier way is be devoted to Krishna, love Krishna, and then you will see that he is in every situation. He's doing everything. And I think that will make you feel very, very happy. And you wouldn't even care about old age, disease, and death. You realize it's in his hand. It'll be just an excuse to get me out of here. And then we continue relating to the Supreme Lord, even if we go to another body, but it'll be a devotee body. It's guaranteed that you become Krishna conscious. You become a human being anyway next life, but you'll be a devotee as well. And that way, one day, we'll end up in Golok like that. Srila Prabhupada has said, I will look after you all. So thank you very much. Time is, there's still about 7 minutes. So Vidya Prabhu, you could come on. We could maybe have a little chat on this.
I'm showing 2 minutes.
Are you? Okay. Right. If anybody's got any questions or comments, anything like that, it'd be nice.
I'm looking, there's nothing there, I guess.
Yeah, so you said this is your favorite verse.
One of my favorite verses in the Bhagavad Gita, definitely.
Yes.
It shows you just to say I want Krishna is very easy. This verse reveals how it really is hard. To get the most precious diamond is not easy.
Yes. And yet, yeah. And yet it's not out of reach. That's the funny thing, it's a paradox here. Although there's this, like you wouldn't know, and then Prabhupada is giving hints, and Krishna himself is giving hints, and Rasoham apsu kantya, I'm the taste of water. So directly and indirectly. So you don't know him directly, but indirectly you can know him. And you shouldn't stop your research indirectly. So if you carry on, and then you read about him in Bhagavatam, that's directly, and then you hear from Srila Prabhupada, and then you see the tears in the eyes of the pure devotees. You realize, oh my God, look, he's experiencing the bhav. So there's a rasa, there's a bhav there. And the indirect then becomes the direct. But when scientists and others start to say, all right, so we want proof and, logically and everything, it's out of reach. They cannot experience the rasa and everything like that. Anyway, so thank you very much. 7:30 now, so I'll let you.
Thank you. Thank you for lovely class, Saridas.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So if we can go we're ready for the main arati now to be sung by Pranava Prabhu's family, and then Anirudh will be singing the nursing arati. When we sing nursing arati, we will speak a few words on Janak Raj, our godbrother who passed away this morning. And after the two artis, we will be celebrating a couple of birthdays. So Hare Krishna. So we can go over to the
Extra. Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Kiva Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Bharati Kashobha Kiva Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Bharati Kashobha Janavi Tata Jagamanalobha Janavi Tata Jagamanalobha Dakhi Benita Cham Bhamigadadhara Dakhinanita Cham Bhamigadadhara Nikataya Daita Shri Vasa Chatradhar Nikataya Daita Shri Vasa Chatradhar Boshi Yache Karacham Simhasani Boshiyache Gorachan Ratna Simhasani Aroti Korena Adi Devagani Aroti Karana Brahma Adi Devagane Narahari Adi Kori Chamaradulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Goshadigaya Shanka Baje Kantha Baje Baje Kara Tala Shankha Baje Kantha Baje Baje Kara Tala Madhuramri Ganga Baje Paramara Sala Shankha Baje baje, घंटा baje, baje madhura mridanga baje, param rasala madhura mridanga baje, param rasala शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर मधुर बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे गीता गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बहु कोटि चंद्र जिनी बधन उजाला बहु कोटि चंद्र बाला देश बनमाला करे जड़माला शिवा सुख नारद प्रेम गदाधर भक्ति विनोद देखे गौर संपादा गौरांगेरा रति शोभा जग जन मन लोभा गौरांगेरा रति शोभा जग जन मन लोभा जन मन लोभा जग जन मन लोभा नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने प्रभुपाद Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Akasya Satari Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Jai Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe. Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe. Madhusudan Jaya Madhusudan, Madhusudan Jaya Madhusudan. Jaya Giriraj, Jaya Giriraj, Giriraj, Jaya Giriraj. Jaya Radha Raman, Radha Raman Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman.
Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman.
Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami
Kavat mein
Shama Sundar Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Shama Sundar Pyare Jagannath.
Jaya Baladev,
Deva Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Maharani, Jaya Subhadra. Radha Radha Jaya Sachidananda Hari, Vishnupriya Pranjana Nadiya Bihari. Jaya Nitai Chan, Jaya Nitai Chan, Jaya Nitai Chan, Chakrada. Dimanita, Jaya Dimanita, Dimanita, Jaya Dimanita. Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram,
Jaya Nityananda Ram,
Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram.
Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram.
Jaya Satchinandana Gaura Hari, Vishnupriya Pranjana Nadiya Bihari.
Jaya Satchinandana Gaura Hari, Vishnupriya Pranjana Nadiya Bihari.
Jai Nita Chan, Jai Nita Chan, Jai Nita Chan, Jai Nita Chan.
Jaya Nita Chan, Jaya Nita Chan, Dekha Chakradam.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur. Nitai Chand ki jai.
Hey. Gora Premanand Hari. Go. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotra Sat Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Iskcon Vibhiri Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Iskcon Guru Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Sachinandan Nitai Chand ki jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Madhav Shri Radha Raman Lal ki jai. Shri Manima Shri Madhusudan Shri Giriraj ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanand Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Namacharya Hari Das Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Hari Nam Sankirtan Yagya ki jai. Transcendental Bhakti Distribution ki jai. Iskcon Coventry Yatra ki jai. Iskcon Worldwide Yatra ki jai. Gura Premanand Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru Shri Gauranga. So Hare Krishna, we'll do Narsingh Arati in very shortly, but we will remember a few names to receive Lord Narsingha's blessings. So I see Anirudh is ready, but just give me a few minutes, Anirudh, because I need to read out these names and also speak a little bit. So first of all, departed souls, we want to remember our God brother Janak Raj Prabhu, who passed away at 7 a.m. this morning. He was ill for some time, and he was in hospital for a short time also last week. And then when they realized that there wasn't much else to do, they discharged him so he could spend his final days at home in the company of his family, relations, and devotees. And Damodar was one of the devotees who informed us about this. So he was suffering from cancer connected to the liver or the spleen, or maybe both. And the battle was given up a few days ago. But the good thing was he was conscious. The family relations and the devotees were encouraging him to remember and chant, and he was responding. And but 7 o'clock this morning, he finally left us. So we want to remember him. In the earlier years, Janak Raj and Sunena gave some years of seva at our temple. Janak Raj was doing altar service. So we pray that our lordships bless him, for all the seva he did for them. I'm sure they'll have some nice destination for him. So we remember Janak Raj as a departed soul. We also want to remember the mother and mother-in-law of Rubin Prabhu, who's a Bhakta devotee in London. They passed away recently. Also, special prayers for His Holiness Jaipata Goswami. Yesterday, I must congratulate his disciples from Coventry. They hosted a special program full of kirtans for His Holiness, but not just His Holiness Jaipata Goswami, the Guru Maharaj, but also some other Maharajas who are also suffering. such as His Holiness Lokanath Swami, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami, and many other Iskcon gurus and leaders suffering around the world. And of course, all their care team. Today, we're also remembering His Grace Chandanivas Prabhu, Bhaktin Rita and Lester, Rita Vadgama's mother, Pradeep Pankania, and daughter Reena, Lucky, and Sweetie Roy. And this COVID has really, the latest COVID, Omicron has attacked many, has affected many devotees around the world, and also in Coventry. So in Coventry, and past Coventry devotees will remember the many members of the Pandari family, and also the Chola family, also the Chauhan family, who have or are recovering from COVID. Also, for the same reason, Prem Prakash and Ishani Devi and Lilu Odedra. For other illnesses, we're also remembering Prem Manjali, Shraddha Devi, Srimati Prem Malan, Santiben Solanke, Shri Raj Kumar, Krishan Dutt, Chalpati Rao, Chi Guru Srinivas, Satya Narayan Das, Gaurahari's mother. She was rushed to hospital just a few days ago, and he sent a message saying, please pray for her. So she has always been on the list for a long time now, but this was a special request. Also, Don Prabhu, Davendra Prabhu, Kishabai Thakur, Daniel House, and Devyanshi, and also many other devotees suffering around the world, and for the general well-being of the whole world. If we have neglected some names, I've not mentioned them, please do think of them while Nursing Aarti is being sung. Hare Krishna. Okay, Anirudh.
Hari Bol. Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Pralada Lada Daine, Pralada Lada Daine, Hiranyakashi Purvakshaya, Hiranyakashi Purvakshaya, Sila Chankarna Kalaye, Sila Chankarna Kalaye, Itoda Shigo, Paratoda Shigo, Itoda Shigo, Paratoda Shigo, Yato Yatoya Bitatoda Shigo, Yato Yatoya Bitatoda Shigo, Bahina Shigo, Ridaye Dashigo, Bahina Shigo, Ridaye Dashigo, Narsimhabadim Sharada Prapade, Narsimhabadim Sharada Prapade, Tabakar Kabalo Pare, Sakam Adbhuta Shiga, Tolita Hiradakashipu, Tanubringa, Keshabudrita, Radhari Rupa, Jaya Jagate Shahare, Jaya Jagate Shahare, Jaya Jagate Shahare, Keshabudrita, Radhari Rupa, Jaya Jagate Shahare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jayo Rashimadev, Jayo Rashimadev, Jayo Rashimadev, Jayo Rashimadev, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Gurudev, Jayo Gurudev, Jayo Gurudev, Jayo Gurudev, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Jai Srimad Bhagavan ki jai.
Hey, thank you, Anirudh. Nicely sung. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I have a few announcements, and then we will honor the birthdays. Today is actually the disappearance anniversary of Sri Jaide Goswami. This Narsingati, which was just sung by Anirudh, part of that was from Jaide Goswami's Dasaftar song, which is quite popular and sung, I believe, every day in Jagannath Temple. Now there was we had selected a video, a 5-minute video where Indiyadumna Maharaj is speaking, His Holiness Indiyadumna Maharaj is speaking about Jayadev Goswami. Maybe we will include it next week. Today we need to carry on with the other events. Tomorrow, Monday, is the disappearance of Lochan Das Thakur, another great Vaishnava, Mahanti in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. He is famous for writing many wonderful songs, which we sing, and often we don't realize they're actually written by Sri Lochan Das Thakur. On Friday is Satatila Ekadashi. Satila Ekadashi, so please refrain from eating any grains or beans on that day. And that's it. Just advanced announcements that in February 7th, Monday, is the appearance of Sri Advaita Acharya. Then a week later, on Monday, the 14th of February, is Nityanand Prabhu's appearance day. That's a big celebration. And then 18th of March, Gaura Purnima. So those lovely festivals are coming very soon. So that is it for this program. So this is where we can stop the YouTube live feed, and then we can carry on with the birthday celebrations of Aradhya's it was birthday today. And we shouldn't forget it was Sudarshan's birthday on Friday. But the main one today is Aradhya. So can the family please join us?